just got out of the shower. Man.
Happy birthday!
Hey, Bonk, I didn't know you were here.
Of course I'm here. This is your house, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's where I always am.
I was just taking a shower. What's up?
Well, I figured it'd be a good time to shoot some NN, yo.
Oh, really? Even though I'm naked and everything?
Yeah, naked. The sex sells.
Alright, cool.
So anyways.
Thanks, man. I didn't even know you knew it was my birthday.
Of course I know. That's what Facebook is for.
Nice.
Anyways.
Victor, Lima, Bravo, 9, 6, Bravo, 2, 9.
Hi, and welcome to Neckbeard Nation, the show where things happen. My name is Buck. This is the birthday boy, Matt. This is the birthday girl, Callisto. And today we're talking about birthdays because what's more fun than birthdays? A lot of things, but they're okay. Matt's got his birthday suit hat of the day. I got my goblet of pomp. And let's go on with the show. So, yesterday we went out for Matt's birthday with the wife. And we had some lovely sushi. Mm-hmm. Because, yum.
And we had squid...
Yeah, squid hokey pokey.
Yeah, squid hokey pokey. That was good.
That was a good side. Yes. And, it's sort of become, when you're about our age, a bit blasé. Before the kids come around and, do it for you, you're kind of like, yeah, it's a birthday. Well, I guess I could do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually fixed my friend's car and my wife's car yesterday, too. So it's like, pretty awesome birthday.
Yeah.
That was cool to go out and eat, though. But,
yeah, so, we're going to talk a bit about birthday celebrations, but instead of a chronology today, we're going to just do sort of a geography today and do some birthdays celebrations throughout the world, throughout cultures and things like that, and also some special birthdays in our own culture, culminating with the celebration of birthdays in a common place in our culture. So, around the world, birthdays are more or less celebrated universally. Some parts of the Islamic world view it as a sort of extravagance.
You just reminded me, what are they? I always draw blanks. The ones that knock on the door, Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah, they're anti-birthday.
They do not celebrate their own birthdays.
Because birthdays are not recognized in the Bible as being a good thing to celebrate. In the Old Testament, it's really the only mention is of Pharaoh having a birthday party, and then, it's not something you want to be associated with. So, a lot of, fundies over the years have been anti-celebration of birthdays. And, so are some crabby people that I know. So, it seems to me that most of the people, even with these religious exemptions, do celebrate a birthday of some sort. You're in the West, it's the common cakes, songs, party hats.
Having the people at the restaurant sing to you
with their non-copyright birthday song. Yes. And then you have other cultures, especially out east, that have very different celebrations. In China, they have a dish called longevity noodles, and supposedly by having really, really long noodles to eat, it symbolizes a long life.
Really? That's good.
And obviously, with such a vast difference in the cultural background of the East, you're going to be getting more of a toned down celebration. Most of the world's birthday celebrations, however, have been highly influenced by Western cultures. And we have brought sort of that cake and party ritual to other peoples that didn't previously have it.
Speaking of cake, I heard this on one of my podcasts recently. I can't remember which one, but in South Africa, it's customary to, when the first cut of the cake, it's called Screaming the Devil or something, where everybody, when you make the first cut, you scream, and it's supposed to scare the devil away or something.
Awesome.
I don't know, yeah. I don't know, I was just wanted to share a little tidbit.
Yeah, if I was the devil and someone was screaming while cutting a birthday cake, I might steer clear of that.
That's a little off topic, but there's a blacksmithing thing like that, too. That's why a blacksmith will hammer on the anvil when he's not pounding on something. He'll like ring the anvil. It's supposed to scare the devil away, but whatever.
Yes, I'm sure. But over the world, over the centuries, it's become fairly homogenized. Although, okay, to add a little chronology, because I was about to just dip into this without saying the word chronology.
No, you knew it was coming.
Yeah, just a tiny one. More like just a historical footnote. Ancient Romans were big into birthdays, and they would invite people from all around to be at their birthday, and there's many surviving notes and letters of people from all over the empire, from Roman Britain even, in Latin, inviting people from throughout the countryside to their birthdays.
Cool.
So it is a very old tradition that we have here. I'm not sure.
I mean, really, in a secular aspect, it makes the most sense as a celebration, you know?
I mean, there are people who say, "Oh, I shouldn't celebrate birthdays because they're not an accomplishment." It's like, that's nice. But, find more reasons to celebrate life, not less.
Yeah, that's a good philosophy.
Yeah, and so you have this path through generations, and a lot of societies have taken that and created a few special birthdays. Certainly, being one of them Jewy old Jews, that 13th birthday was the bar mitzvah, and you got a big old party with a whole bunch of money and a whole bunch of gifts and a fun dancing time for all.
Is that where you're technically a man or something at that point? Or?
Yes.
I remember that Seinfeld episode where the kid was kissing Elaine.
Yeah.
And then the
I'm
dad.
a man!
So did you do that on your bar mitzvah?
No, my bar mitzvah was mostly concentrated on avoiding the more disgusting of the relatives and trying to...
Wait, so you're not the most disgusting in your family?
Well, I think for my age level, I'm well ahead.
Okay.
I think, you can't really compete with the elderly on the same level.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, it's not really a fair fight.
They have a lot more birthdays under their belts.
Yeah, and they have crust on the corner of their mouths, they spit, they're smelly, all that great old people stuff.
Hair grown in weird places where it shouldn't be.
That's right. Hey, old people, take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
I don't want to see your smelly grossness. Fuck you, old people. Grand tradition of the show, just telling people to fuck off for no good reason. So, we have that at the 13th birthday, and there are some celebrations for younger stuff, like the 8th day for circumcision, and I don't know when communion is that. I don't think that's an age thing. I think that's just a school attainment thing.
Yeah.
But the next one down the line is the quinceañera from the Latin American cultures when they turn 15. The quinceañera is quite similar to, historically, it was quite similar to the debutantes ball. That was when they were available.
And what age was that again?
15. Well, it's quince.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know what you said. I don't know.
Quinceañera. But I said it in my Spanish voice, which no one can understand. Except maybe Spanish people, although that hasn't really been tested thoroughly. He went nuts because I pulled a leaf off his tail. Anyways.
It's a she, by the way.
She. Yeah, but I call everything he. Alright, Callisto. That's enough for you. That's sort of the big birthday down there, and we have our super sweet 16s up here, because that's when you can drive. It's taken on a life of its own. I don't know if you ever saw the show on MTV.
Probably just clips of it, yeah.
My super sweet 16. Yeah. With incredibly rich people being incredibly snooty about having a party in their honor of being slightly older.
Yeah. When you're rich, you do things like that.
I know I do. So, from there, we have the 18th, which, of course, is the age of majority, as it has been somewhat randomly selected to be.
Where you're old enough to die for your country.
Yeah, and...
but still not old enough to drink.
Yes, but at least you can vote. That was a really big movement back in the 70s, getting the 18-year-olds to vote. Yeah, and certainly it used to be 18 for drinking, but I think...
Actually, by federal law, the age is 18, but states, if they make it the 18 the age, then they don't get as much funding for some reason for roads and stuff like that, so they all do 21 just to get extra funding from the government, I guess.
Yes! Yeah. Indeed, it was a constitutional law staple case. Something versus Dole. I can't remember it. But yes, that is exactly it. It's 5% decrease in road funding. So that is a pretty interesting... like, this is the law, but... over here. And, if you want to get into constitutional law of it, people would say that's a bit fucked up, but whatever. And so we have that as the big, birthday where you're allowed to do most things. And then there's the 21st birthday, which is the crazy one, because that's the one where you're allowed to drink and gamble. And you put those two together.
You can't gamble at 18?
No.
Oh, well, you could buy like scratch offs and stuff. But
maybe you can't go to a casino.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You can in Canada. It's 19 to get into the casinos.
Yeah, I didn't know. I never knew that.
Except in Ottawa, where there was an 18-year-old casino.
Huh. I wonder if that's federal or state or how that, like, if you know what I mean.
I think that's federal. Yeah, because I remember, going up to Canada at age 19 for specifically that reason. And because I like Canada. Hi, Canada. So, you have all of these sort of ceremonial days that we count off as milestones. And it's interesting that that's only an 8-year range, right around the beginning of adolescence to the end of adolescence, that we celebrate birthdays. And there's really a little special after that. There's 25, where you can rent a car or be a member of Congress.
Oh, and your insurance rates go down.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's worth celebrating. 30 when you can become a senator, and 35 when you can become president. And
4 more years, and I will be president.
That's the goal. That's why we're doing all this. And you have, but after that, 40 is that big over the hill, and then assumedly everything goes down from there.
That's funny because on my Facebook, one of my friends said, "Oh, 30." Well, I'm 31, but they said the 30s are the new 20s, and I was thinking, I don't want to be in my 20s starting to go bald and having gray hairs. It's like, my 20s were a lot better than this. Well, physically.
Yeah, the 20s felt like I had a little bit of energy still left. I could, walk up the side of a mountain if I really had to. So, yeah, it's interesting that the culture really only values those adolescent birthdays, and after that, you have to be really old before people find your birthdays interesting again. If you turn 100, Willard Scott puts your name on a bottle of Smuckers on TV.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Fun. Shit like that. And so we have this culture where we don't revere being old. We revere, these young milestones, and then just after that you do whatever. It's very opposite of the Eastern cultures.
That's true.
Yes. A few particular birthday quirks around the world and via culture. The Saints' Days, which I was looking up before the show today.
Yeah, this just sounds so weird, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot of Orthodox Christians will do this, where instead of celebrating your birthday on your birthday, they will celebrate your birthday on the name of the saint you were named after's Saint Day.
And what picks their saint day? When they got saint status, or
no. Saints' days are kind of randomly chosen. Like when they're beatified, they just say that Saint's Day is this day, and pick some random reason.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, alright, then from now on, everyone feast on this day. It's a Saint's Day. It's a Saint's Day every day, so pretty much every day is a feast day now. So
tell me about it.
Yeah, that's my issue. I'm celebrating on these Saints' days.
Yeah.
You'd think being an atheist, I would be over that.
Hey, take the good and leave the bad.
Yeah, that's right. And do Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, just gifts. No celebration. So, yeah, you have some things like that around the world, and that's... But more or less, it's pretty uniform across cultures. Certainly, you have these different milestones in different cultures. I mean, there's a very U.S.-centric view of the milestone birthdays that we have there. And it has a lot to do with the way we've structured schools, where we have people graduating schools at 18 and 22. And we've sort of structured the allowances around that. Also, in other countries, certainly in England, a lot of people take off at 16. Some people here take off a little earlier than that. But that's sort of the cultural norm over there.
Yeah. Even the drinking age and everything is lower there, right?
Yes, it is, absolutely. There's some places around the world where you can drink at just about any age.
Yeah.
And of course, there's the videos of the 2-year-old smoking in Indonesia.
I've seen videos of like 8-year-olds getting drunk and stuff. Like,
yeah, it's that's just bad. Don't get drunk, 8-year-olds.
Yeah, you need your brain cells.
Yes, alcohol only kills brain cells if you're drunk. So just have a little bit of alcohol, and you're okay. So these age restrictions, in some senses like that, are somewhat arbitrary, because growth, I feel, is more determined by physiological bounds than that. That's why they.
Yeah, I mean, you're still growing at 18 years old.
Absolutely. That's why they've gotten rid of mental age as a way of measuring people's progress through school, because it's just different for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that has been the Neckbeard Nation Half Naked Show on birthdays. We hope that you're enjoying your day, because it's a good day.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. If you want to wish me a happy birthday, you know where to get a hold of us. Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Google, Gmail, whatever.
And if you're an ex-coworker of mine who wished me a happy birthday I
remember that.
when we post his picture online, then, brain cells would be nice.
Well, no, it just said Matt in the picture, so you are technically a Matt as well. It didn't say my last name or anything.
But it shows, that's what Facebook is for.
Yeah, I know. They should say on your page. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.